Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another series of podcasts. This is Chandan Palwar from Grow Junction. Today, I welcome you all to one of insightful sales and marketing domain focused podcast that is again powered by Grow Junction. I'm excited to welcome our today's speaker. He's yet again one of the eminent personalities in his domain, Dr. Debi Lenka, a national sales director at Dogsy Chew. He has 9+ years of experience in FMCG and animal healthcare industry. He has done his MBA from IIM Lucknow in the year of 2013. So I'm sure that you must be excited to hear from from Dr. Devi directly instead of me. So now let's unite together and have such a personality on board with all of us.
Thank you. Thank you, Chandan. It is my pleasure to be here with you in the Grow Junction platform and share my experience for all the new and aspiring marketing and sales professional who are about to start their journey into the corporate world. And this particular episode, I would like to throw more insights about how we can build a career in sales and marketing, and for people like new wannabes who have just joined their MBA courses in this year, or maybe they will be in the second year. What all they need to do to fit into the sales and marketing kind of profiles which are being offered by different companies, right? So without sparing more time, I would like to introduce myself. Myself, Dr. Debi Lenka. I'm a vet by profession. I have done my veterinary graduation from Bangalore Veterinary College, and after completing my graduation in veterinary science, I joined IIM Lucknow in their premier MBA program. I was of the batch 2011 to 13 there, and from there on, in the 2 years what I had spent in MBA, it was more of networking, understanding fellow like-minded students, what all they need to prepare, how do they prepare for their placements, what all clubs and committees they need to join, so that they build a decent CV for them, which can attract the right recruiters. Because most of us, for IIM Lucknow, it is considered to be the hub of sales and marketing. So most of the companies which normally hit the campus come from the sales and marketing domain, and obviously they require more number of CV points like extracurricular activities, what all clubs and committees you have been part of, have you participated in all the events which are happening in the campus. Right. So these are some of the things which majorly most of the students they run for. Obviously it's a rat race, and everyone has a different way of approaching things. Some are like studious, they want to get the good grades from the campus, and obviously that is how they would like to pitch themselves for something like a consulting kind of a career. Someone who is like an expert in extracurricular activities, they would like to participate in more number of events, get some good brownie points, CV points basically, and try to build their perspective into how many number of cases they can solve in that particular matter. So mine was completely a different off track kind of an experience, because I was a veterinarian, I was a doctor, and in my batch there were close to 7 doctors. One I was from veterinary science, and one from dental science, and 5 were from the medical science. So it was a quite a good unique experience which we had in the campus. And obviously there are a lot of activities which one can run for when he is in the campus, like you can do some kind of social activities also, right? And you participate in so many activities that gives you a well-rounded exposure for what you are being exposed to in the real world. Because in corporate world, the challenges which we normally have as a professional, some of these challenges we have been taught, or we have experienced that in our MBA journey. So that is where building managing the complex things in the corporate world. Some of these things have been taught well in the MBA curriculum, like time management is a very critical when you are in the corporate side. You have to balance your time, and you have to prioritize so many activities. Then you have to chalk out which has to be done urgently, which has to be done immediately, and which has to be delegated or to be postponed. So some of the things, yes, obviously you get to know. And I joined from campus. I joined Mars as a sales and management trainee.
Okay.
and I got exposure to a beautiful, well-structured management training program of the brand. And I happened to stay with Mars for almost 7 years, and I worked in general trade, modern trade, specialized trade, and most of my experience, obviously, because throughout my 9-year journey in the corporate side, I have been in the pet food space because obviously of my inclination and obviously this is my background.
Absolutely.
From there on, I joined Drools and in a leadership role. I was heading the veterinary channel for the business, and I was also looking after the retail channel, which was like their next go-to market for the brand. And a good sizable team
Okay.
I had under me, and it was a good learning experience managing a complex team with different backgrounds. When you have to manage people from different corners of the country, like someone who is a North Indian, someone who is a South Indian, you have to balance your perspective as to how you need to approach the individual basis their soft and the hard approach which
Okay.
one has to take.
Okay.
So after that, now I'm in Doxycu, which is a leading Indian manufacturer of natural treats. I am heading the sales and marketing for this particular brand, and it's a young team and a young brand which is in the country. We are right now the leaders of natural treats particular segment across the
Okay.
globe, and this happens to be our biggest launch of the brand in India, and we
Okay.
are setting up a new, young, vibrant team in the country.
Okay.
And our major approach is to how do we build this brand in the country, set up the right distribution and channel partners. We need to identify who can be the long-term relation building partners for us in this journey. And yes, you can ask me anything regarding what
So I
has to
think,
be.
this is like so encouraging to all of us, who are listening to you right now, your story, how it all started. Because,
Hmm,
what I am able to perceive about from your introduction is, don't limit yourself. Like, from
right.
being a
Yes.
doctor to, a sales director at a company,
Right.
something that is quite
Hmm.
inspirational. So my question is, why from doctor to, a sales domain? So
Yes, it's a very
yeah, it could be one
it's
of the
a tough
most unique question that your most common question that you must be getting from most of
yeah,
us.
it's a tough question, but yes, see, it was more to do with my liking and my interest, and how did I phase out my journey. And when I was studying veterinary science, and when I was doing practice also post my degree, I happened to see so many brands approaching and talking about the new things which are happening in the pet industry, and how as a doctor you are supposed to influence some of these brands which can go in and hit the pet customer directly. Okay, and naturally there was a more of an inclination to the business side of the thing compared to what as a technical person
Okay.
doing the treatment and surgery and all. And obviously I had a good aptitude in maths. I was really very good, so it was like 50% of my interest and 50% of going with people who were doing simultaneous preparation, because
Okay.
in my batch in veterinary science many of them were preparing for civil service, some of us were preparing for MBA, some were preparing for their higher education, and I happened to just uh, be lucky at that point of time. I gave the cat and got a good percentile, managed to secure admission to IIM Lucknow, and things fall had
Absolutely.
started to fall after that.
Your place.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think this is so, inspiring. I'm saying this again just because, people tend to tend to lose their vision, their goals, in their lives
Hmm.
after getting the failures in front of them. So most of
Hmm.
us are not able to confront our failures. So I think failures for
Right.
you must be a learning opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
All
it
right.
is for everyone. See, everyone's journey is quite different. Your journey, my journey, and if you happen to converse with many people, see, it is like your graph cannot be always at the top. It has to be like
Absolutely.
there will be a dip, there will be a up, but obviously that is how life is structured. You
Absolutely.
need to bounce from what failures you have experienced, and obviously you need to take that learning from that particular failure and see that it is not repeated again, because you do not get many chances when you are in the corporate side. Obviously, one to failure is like, it should be like the best learning phase for your career.
All right, that's great. I hope that you are loving your job right now, and must be
Yeah.
giving it a thought that if that one move from doctor to sales management is one of the
Hmm.
most credible options or of your life.
Hmm.
So I hope,
Hmm.
I wish you the best of luck for your future endeavors. Moving forward,
Hmm.
Doctor, can you please let us know about your roles and responsibilities of being a sales director at a company like DoxyChew?
Hmm. So as a sales director, the biggest mandate what I have is to set up a team, which is young, vibrant, obviously from the pet industry, because we are a young brand. We want to explore and reach out to most number of the pet customers across the country. So
Okay.
setting up the team is one particular agenda which I have in my mind. The second biggest task or the job requirements are to set up the entire channel distribution for the brand. For example, we are right now almost reaching to 50 top cities of the country. So how do we set up the distribution channel for this brand into this city, setting up the distributor hub,
Okay.
setting up the CFA and the mini sub-stockists, appointing them, right, and making them understand the vision of the brand and taking them as a channel partner. That is
Right.
the next
Okay.
big ask from this role. And
Okay.
obviously, when you go into a leadership role, you can't be a leader if you do not have the empathy and you do not have the networking skill with your juniors, right? Because people need to understand that leader is someone who is not there by default. Somebody, he has put in some effort, and obviously you need to have a great connect with the people around you.
Okay.
People, you, all the partners, like channel partners, your colleagues, your reportees, everyone should feel that yes, this person is approachable.
Okay.
And obviously it should not be like that you are very soft. You have to balance your soft sidedness and obviously your hard side also, because in sales, you cannot be too soft and empathetic. Right
Right.
now, obviously, when sales does not happen, you need to show
Exactly.
the tough side of your of your personality, but you
Okay.
have to balance it out so that people celebrate the victory, the team celebrates the victory, and obviously the team also gets the chipping when it's going down also. So
Okay.
we, as a sales leader, you have to take that particular thing along with you, that you are
Right.
managing a team, and
Right.
managing a team of high flyers. Obviously they are highly aspirational and they are coming with you because of this journey. They believe in the journey. So as a leader, you need to show them that the journey what
Right.
we are collectively taking is
Absolutely.
for the best of is for the best for all of us,
Okay.
right?
So I think sales is sales domain is to be considered as one of the most challenging role in any organization,
Hmm.
and also be
Hmm.
considered as a backbone, because if there are no sales, there is no product development. So there must be some decent skill sets that you believe a sales person or sales executive must to have in order to fulfill
Hmm.
the goals and objectives set by the company. So can you please
Hmm.
enlighten
Hmm.
us about few of the skill sets that one who's aspiring to
Hmm.
become a sales manager or sales director in future
Hmm. Hmm.
is should
Hmm.
must to have?
See, as a salesperson, no, you have to be first big uh, point a salesperson has to have is like he has to be very good in follow up. Okay, because you cannot close a deal with only a single call or a single
Right.
visit. You need to have a great sense of follow up, and you need to remind your customer that you are important. You are the decision maker, obviously. And second is like you need to be very approachable. You need to be very calm when the sales is happening, obviously, because you cannot be rude to your
Right.
customer, right? You
Be
have
it
to be,
customer,
because
be rude.
customer is king.
Right.
Customer is king. Obviously, you have to treat him like a king, and you are supposed to balance out the things which he is expecting. Like he will have 100 of things of his expectation. You
Okay.
cannot meet all the 100 expectations, right? But
Okay.
you need to understand that what all he requires is his top 3 or 4 priority, which can
Okay.
be met out.
All
Okay.
right.
And third, obviously in sales, no, there is no right or wrong way of doing sales. Okay. Sales is something that you need to create as a passion. If you are not happy with doing a sales kind of a profile, you'll never be enjoying that particular role.
Right.
And sales involves a lot of traveling. So if you are not
Okay.
a good traveler, or sales is something like, if I'm an introvert, obviously you have to overcome that particular personality of yourself, right? If you're an introvert, you're not very comfortable meeting people, you're not very comfortable addressing the audience, right? You have to talk. In sales,
Right.
you have to basically talk. You have to make the sales happen through certain,
Absolutely.
selling skills, which your persuasion skills are required, right? You have to be talkative, extrovert. I was an introvert, but obviously sales has taught me how to become
Right.
an extrovert when the things are required, right? You cannot be like, without any logic, you cannot talk, right? Because
Okay.
sales requires lot of conviction.
Okay.
Correct. You need to convince the person in front of you that this is a brand which will help you in generating more revenue. So you have to convince him. So do you have that conviction under you that you can convince someone else? So these are
Absolutely.
some of the things which, and it all
Okay.
happens with certain, for a person like, Chandan, who is starting off his career, his persuasion skill, his conviction skills would be at around 4 to 5. But the way he graduates, like he gets more experience, more number of projects he gets, and he hones these particular skills of his, and he becomes a better salesperson in the future.
Right. Got it. So the thing is, I'm sure, people who must be watching this session from the beginning till here, I'm sure that those people will be, aspiring sales executive in the near future. So the thing is, now let's take this forward to, on the behalf of the students. So there must be MBA students who must
Hmm.
be pursuing the MBA in sales and marketing. So
Hmm.
there is one of the, most unique and most challenging aspect that an MBA student goes through, that is the
Hmm.
shortlist from the recruiters aspects. So nowadays
Hmm.
companies uses ATS softwares to track the resumes, so they're facing
Hmm.
some difficulties in getting the shortlist, the
Hmm.
desired shortlist in which their interest lies. So do you
Hmm.
want to give some of the resume tips or interview tips in order
Hmm.
to get themselves chance to at least get
Hmm.
a decent
Hmm.
number of shortlists into the marketing or the sales domain?
Hmm. See, basically, if you ask about CV formatting and CV making for a salesperson or a sales and marketing kind of a profile, recruiters generally typically see more number of extracurricular activities whether the candidate has done during his journey in the MBA, right? Because many sales is typically attached to a role where you have to be an extrovert. You have to be. You cannot restrict. I'll not hire someone who has a great grade in the campus. Obviously, if someone who is like a stud in the campus is having great grades, obviously consulting is his cup
Absolutely.
of tea. For me, if I have to hire someone who has a, even if he's in average in studies, he has got a decent grade, but he has amplified that particular two-year journey in the campus through more number of extracurricular
Okay.
activities, his participation in the events which has happened in the campus, how many different awards, or how many different case studies he has done in the campus, or
Understood.
has he participated, taken projects outside the course curriculum and done it with some companies. Because nowadays people, I see, because at the competition has become so severe that now the candidates are doing even 2 3 multiple summer internships
Absolutely.
during their 2 year journey in the campus, because they get one standard expectation is that at during my days, summer internship is supposed to be given by the company, and it's a paid summer internship, right? Now students are so smart, they would approach the right contacts, coordinate over LinkedIn, and they would see if there can be some projects which can be done without the paid tag, right? It is just
All
for
right.
an understanding learning in the corporate
Learning
world,
some
and
certificate.
that obviously works. because that actually shows that you are interested in the corporate side, learning
Participate.
new things and not doing something which has been forced on you or which has been part of the syllabus. So these are all the things which obviously makes a great CV compared to an average CV, and sales kind of a professional who is going to get multiple shortlists, they would see that this CV would be having these many criteria before shortlisting. And obviously, the biggest thumb rule is that no spelling mistake in your CV, no grammatical errors, highlighting the right bullet point, highlighting the right achievements through bullet points, no use of jargons which are like I have seen so many CV having so many complicated jargons that it becomes really it gives a feeling that it has been prepared by someone else and he has been forced to write it on his CV, right? So see, everyone knows that an MBA graduate will have limited amount of time beyond his study curriculum, and he will be sparing some amount of time on understanding different tenets of sales and marketing through participating in multiple events and case studies. So nobody is expecting you or in a candidate to know everything under the sun in
Okay.
the 2 years. But if you have shown the right intent during your 2 year journey through certain events which has had a good impact on your personality, and it is translating into your CV through certain points, yes, that is really very fantastic.
Understand.
If I am going to recruit someone like that.
Okay. So I think, thank you so much, doctor, for giving all of us so much insights and your experiential learning around the sales management. And I'm sure this must be very much beneficial even for me and also the audience. So if the audience are liking this podcast, just hit on the like button and do share this podcast to your friends, family, and colleagues to help them too. So thank you so much, Dr. Devi, for getting on board with Grow Junction and taking out your time for this, loveliest session, and wish you the best.
Thank you, Chen. Pleasure meeting you, and all the best to you and Grow Junction as a platform. Pleasure meeting you all.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.